Hello lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel, back with some more Sky Bet League One content and with some Club Pacific content. Now on this channel we do League One and League Two content, and we now are looking at different clubs in different weeks in different parts of the season and having a little chat about them. So far we've done Bolton Wanderers. When we did them, they went to go and lose their next game. We then did Lincoln City, who were also hot in form. They also went to lose their next game. We did Stevenage, and they've still not played since. But today we're going to talk about Huddersfield Town, who lost last night to Bolton Wanderers by 2-1 in dramatic fashion. We're going to have a chat about them, their start to the season, the strengths, the weaknesses, where they're going wrong or where they may be going right in some areas as well. If you are new to the channel, please can you subscribe down below. We want to try and hit 20,000 subscribers and I need every single one of you. Go down there, press subscribe, and if everyone watching this video can press a like now, get us to 100 likes. 100 likes is the goal for today. So Huddersfield Town came down to League One in 2024 with high expectations to go back to the Championship under Michael Duff. And they started quite well, hit and miss. There was a few good results. First 5 or 6 games was very positive. Then after that, they hit a bit of a bump in the road. And up until about October, November, it took them a while to get going. Then after that, from about October/November time till about late January, they went 16 games unbeaten, where they won 10, drew 6. Now, I watched them at home to Lincoln City. I watched them away at Wycombe in this time, and I didn't really see any glamorous football. I didn't really see, a front-footed Huddersfield side. I thought they were a side that had momentum and a side that had things going their way. And they were getting out of situations because they had good players. And to go 16 games unbeaten, you must be a good team. It felt they had a real spirit. Michael Duff's sides, and predominantly not great to watch, but predominantly get results. And he's proven that at Cheltenham, he's proven that at Barnsley. And I think he'll prove to do that at Wycombe Wanderers now. Struggled at the more glamorous clubs like a Swansea and a Huddersfield that wanted a bit more. But 16 games unbeaten, taking 36 points in that time, is a good return. Then after this, they slowly hit a bit of a bump in the road. I think they only won 1 or maybe 2 of the next 10 games. And Michael Duff was sacked. And I was quite surprised at it. Yes, they were going for a bad period. Yes, they weren't playing good football. But this is a football club that has kind of come down. They've been relegated, needed to rebuild, needed to reset as a club again, and had to get back to doing the basics well. And they weren't great to watch, but they were getting results more often than not. And you felt with Michael Duff, you felt that they'd at least have a chance because they were structured, they were tough to play against at times. Yes, they had a few bad results, but you feel like he sorted that out. But it wasn't given time, and he was sacked. And Huddersfield's last 11 or 12 games of last year were quite frankly horrific and relegation form, and they weren't good at all. I think the end of the season with 4 or 5 defeats and ended up finishing well below the playoffs. In the summer, they needed a new manager. That was the kind of aim. They'd had an extra 2 months to look for one at the back end of last year, and Kevin Nagle came out and appointed Lee Grant. Now, Lee Grant had been at Ipswich as a coach and had a really good career as a goalkeeper. Now, there's not many goalkeepers about in football. I think the only one I can think of, the top of my head, when I think about is Nuno, who's obviously had a great career, with Wolves and Forest, and was at Spurs for a few minutes, and then now taking on the West Ham job. So he's had some top jobs in the Premier League. So it wasn't nothing against a goalkeeper taking on the job. Kevin Nagle did a really interesting interview, and the standout quote was about Northern football. And I understand that, being a Northerner myself on the Northwest. I think personally, Northerners and Southerners want 2 different things. Take out top level football, your Man Cities, Man United, Liverpools and co. But the bottom couple of divisions, I think Northerners want attacking football. They want to get the balls out wide very quickly. They want to get cross into the box, and they want the turnover to be very quick. Now, you look through the business in the summer, it was top notch in every department, which adds pressure. Joe Lowe came in for me, one of the best centre halves in the league. Josh Feeney high pedigree, doing well on loan from Villa, Ryan Ledson, Jack Watmore coming into the building. Then you're adding the likes of, Joe Taylor, Alfie May, Leo Castledine. These are quality players, and I've not even gone through the whole squad. Marcus Harness won promotion back-to-back with Ipswich Town. They've signed absolutely a load of pedigree, a load of quality, but also comes a load of egos. That these players think they should be winning this league. These players think they should be winning every game 2 or 3-0. These players think they should be starting every week. These players think they should be playing at the higher level, but they're playing for Huddersfield in League One. And I think what you get with that, you don't get a siege mentality. You don't get players that are going to graft your football club to take you above and beyond that, because they've done that. They're coming down and it's like, I've got to go to League One. Yeah, it's great, we're going to get promoted. But it's like, they're not trying to be the best versions of themselves to try and match the best level, because in their minds, they've already been at a higher level and want to be there themselves now. So they get frustrated. However, they start the season really well. They won against Leyton Orient and Reading back-to-back. A bad defeat away at Blackpool in the middle of that. But you respond with that with a couple of decent victories against Doncaster and Stevenage. 4 wins out of 5. Happy days. Performances on the road for me have been a concern. 3-2 away at Blackpool, 3-1 away at Bradford, 3-1 away at Barnsley, all back-to-back. And the Barnsley one, they were soft, they were naive, they gave mistakes away, they gave fouls away. They were just so poor. And against Blackpool, they had an extra man for over an hour, didn't do anything with it. Against Barnsley, you could felt they were soft. Away at Bradford, I think they were 3-0 down by half-time. It also feels with Lee Grant that he's very stubborn and he doesn't want to change things. Now, when I watch them, it's obvious that things need changing. Alfie May's been playing multiple different positions, bar his best position. And now to get the best out of Alfie May, well, you play him up front, you get balls in behind, you get him on the last line of the defenders, and he runs in behind and he does it ever so well. Alfie May was on corners, I think, one game. That's ridiculous. Alfie May being used as a target man in some games. Ridiculous. And it feels they've got so many strikers and they don't know what to do with them. And that's an issue. They've got so many good players and he doesn't know how to get the best out of them. He's just basically saying, go and do this. But players need to be shown what to do. And it feels like that is not great. And managers that don't change the way, that are very stubborn, I think you're seeing it at Manchester United right now, they will eventually get found out. And then eventually the results start to turn. And then now 2 back-to-back home defeats to Stockport and Bolton, who they are 2 sides that you would expect to be in and around the top 6 at the end of the year with Huddersfield. Stockport and Bolton, they've got a decent sized budget, they've got good players, but yesterday I think took the biscuit, being 1-0 up, dominating the game in their minds. Bolton not really creating. They had chances, but nothing that you thought Huddersfield would feel threatened by. Second half, Lee Grant, he sat back, he tried to soak it up, he tried to see out the 1-0 victory, which I think young managers try and do when you're in need of a result, which Lee Grant was. The Stockport game last time out, I think, empathised that Huddersfield needed a victory, because this manager's never done it before, so anything that goes bad, questions will be asked. It's not like he's got out of a difficult situation before as a manager. So questions will be asked, and especially of the last 5 games, when you look at it, Bradford away, you beat Exeter, you draw to Burton, and you lose back-to-back to Stockport and Bolton. This is a 5-game bad period, which is normal for a League One or a League Two or any side in football to have. Without the multi-millions of pounds better than everyone else, it feels like every time they played a good side, they've lost. Blackpool, you'd fancy at the start of the year, they lost. Barnsley would be up there, top 10, top 12, lost. Bradford started really well, they've lost. Stockport and Bolton at home, they've lost. And no disrespect, Leyton Orient at home, Leyton Orient rebuild and start the season, you'd expect to beat. Stevenage, yes, are top, but you'd expect Huddersfield, squad for squad, at the start of the year to win that game of football. They did. Peterborough struggling. They did win that game of football. Reading away and Exeter away. You'd expect to at least take 4 points out of those. You did win back-to-back. And then you draw into Burton. And it just feels a great team of individuals. You don't see a good team right now. It's the players on the pitch that are going to get them results rather than tactics. And I don't see that those players are going to go out and die for them. In the 2016-17 season, when they ultimately got promoted to the Premier League, that squad wasn't the most talented squad. It wasn't. No disrespect to it. But you know what it was good at? It was good at the basics. It was tactically well set up. They were strategic. They knew what they did. They knew what the strengths were, they knew what the weaknesses were, they knew where everyone was, but they fought for each other. Every single player in that dressing room, you could see were friends and could see would back one another. And if one player went off and one player came on, they knew it was a job. And you're going to go on and if it's 20 minutes, you go and do your job to get 3 points for the team. And it felt like a real family at Huddersfield for those couple of years. First year in the Premier League, those 2 years were magical under David Wagner. I don't see that with Huddersfield. I just see it as a team of individuals, a team of players just going out there and doing what they want. Doing what they want to make themselves look good. And again, when you've got a great team of great players, it can be hard to manage. And those players will be looking at League One right now and going, well, you've only been in the game a little bit as a coach. Should we listen to you? You know, you're not picking me. I think I'm right. And, you know, and they can overpower him. And goalkeepers are a wheel because he spent a lot of time away from, you know, the outfield players. So they're like, well, how do you know what I need? I think that the next 2 or 3 games are massive. If they lose them, I think there'll be no choice but to have a look. And of course, I'll have a look at that. But again, interesting times for Huddersfield Town coming up. Let me know your thoughts down below. They've got a great team with great players. I just don't think it's quite clicking right now. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe. We are on the road to 20,000 subscribers here for your League One and League Two content on this platform. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.